So what is up guys, I hope you guys are good and safe and at home, and let's talk about computers today. So I mentioned before as well, I have a PC and I've also mentioned the specs of that, but today I'll rephrase them and I'll let you know what kind of PC you should get, what things you should consider while buying a PC or a laptop if you want to do 4K editing or video editing or like VFX and all, what things you should consider while buying a PC. So I bought my PC back in 2019 August, and I did some research to that. I am from IT background myself, and I have some friends as well who are working for IT departments for computers, who make computers. So I talked to them regarding what would be the best for me, what would be the best for me to get, and I bought this PC then. So firstly, before starting with the video, let me share the specs of my PC. That is, I have an AMD Ryzen 3700X processor, 6GB NVIDIA RTX 2060 graphic card, 32GB of RAM, two 256GBs of SSDs, one NVMe and one M.2, and one 2TB hard disk. Along with that, I have a 700-watt power supply of Corsair, and the cabinet is of AMD. For the motherboard, I went for Asus X470 Pro Prime Pro motherboard. So those are the specs of my PC, what I have in my PC, in which I have edited my videos from the one My Europe vlog, My Europe tour, the Europe vlog. From that video, I have edited every video, every photo in this PC. Before than that, I used to work on a laptop. After talking to my friends and a lot of IT people and also researching over the internet what PC serves best for the video editing purpose, which is actually a multi-core purpose, using multi-cores of your CPU. So the first thing that you should consider is the number of cores. The more cores you get in your editing PC, in your editing laptop, it's the better it gets, the faster it gets, and the better performance you'll get. So earlier on my laptop I had only 2 cores, but on this one I have 8 cores and 16 threads. So I can do multi-processing. I can work on different softwares like Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Photoshop all together at once, and I'll get a great performance. I'll have a perfect performance and I won't get any lag, and that is true. I don't get any lag. I have been working on VFX softwares as well. I have graduated from a VFX field, so I work on software such as PFTrack or Nuke or Maya, and those softwares even work flawlessly on my PC. First thing, getting a good number of cores is the best thing for now. And later in my video, I'll also talk about building a budget PC. I'll let you know the specs, what you can get and at what price. After the processor, let's talk about the RAM. What RAM does is that RAM helps the software you are using, the process you are doing, speed up. So just for example, if I am rendering a video, what RAM does is that RAM helps me in multi-processing, like rendering my video or fastening up the process. RAM helps with that. So getting a good RAM is also very necessary. I got 32GBs of RAM because I knew that I had to work on different softwares and different things, but 16GB of RAM is enough, and you should get at least like 16GB is good, like nothing less than 8GB please. 8GB is also the least mark I would suggest. I would suggest 16GB, but if you are on budget, 8GB is good for now. You can always upgrade your RAM. So after RAM, let's talk about graphic card. So graphic card comes in play when you are going to work in a 3D department. So if you're working in a 3D department like 3D modeling or 3D animation, and also if you're a gamer, the graphic card plays a role in those things. But what a graphic card plays a role in video editing, like if you are going for VFX, like if you do some effects in video editing, some effects require GPU acceleration, that is the graphic card. So if you require some GPU acceleration, some glitches and some other effects that require maybe 3D things and all, so you need GPU acceleration, those things. And also other than that, graphic card helps you render your videos better and faster. For example, if I render my video 1 minute Instagram B-roll, if I render it on software using software encoding in just Premiere Pro, none of my graphic card, it will take around 7 to 8 or maybe 9 minutes, maybe 7 to 8 minutes. But if I render the same video using CUDA acceleration, the graphic cards, because I have a NVIDIA RTX 2060 6GB of graphic card, so that will accelerate my rendering process. The hardware encoding will be good and the rendering time would be not more than 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. You can see the amount of time that you are saving while rendering and also heating up your processor obviously. So that was it about the graphic card as well. You should get a good one. Like if you are only doing video editing, it's not necessary for you to get a RTX or a graphic card that is worth 50,000 rupees. You can also get Nvidia GTX 1650 or 1550. Those are great graphic cards for the price that of 17 to 20,000. Those are great graphic cards. Coming on to the next thing, that is storage. So talking about the storage, it's like the better you get, it's like the more you get, the better you get. So I think you got the point that I wanted to make. So it's like you can get many videos on YouTube regarding what is better, SSD or hard disk, and the clear cut answer is SSD, but you have a budget on them. SSDs are costlier than hard disk. You can get a 1 TB hard disk for 4,000, and for the same price you will get a 250 GB SSD only, and I'm talking about M.2. NVMe's are even costlier. So there are three types of SSDs: SATA, M.2 and NVMe. The highest performance provides, NVMe provides the highest performance, and it actually does. I have one NVMe SSD in my PC which only has Windows installed in it for the Windows to work better, and another SSD that I just installed is just for softwares to run, like the softwares which I daily use, like Maya and Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere Pro, After Effects, Audacity, and all the softwares are in that SSD. And the hard disk is just for storage. I have a 2 TB hard disk that is just for storage and nothing else. So talking about drives, you should always invest in a good SSD. At least you're installing your Windows, like at least get 256 GBs. I have 500 GBs, I know, but I have upgraded to it now. Earlier I only had 256 GBs of SSD which had my software and Windows both, and I was getting some problem in the storage. That's why I upgraded to another SSD, because my motherboard also had space for that. So let me talk about how storage devices work and why, like on what basis you should buy a storage device. We're thinking on what points. So basically there is one thing that you need to think about while going for storage, while buying storage devices, is that while you're editing your video, think that you only have one drive, one hard disk, which the speeds of hard disk are comparatively very less than SSDs, the SATA SSDs also. So the hard disk are really low in speeds. So just think that you have one disk and you're working, the software is installed on that, the files that you store that you have shot are installed on that, and you're editing. So you are reading and writing from the same drive. That is what gives you less performance. So if you want more performance, if you want a better performance for your editing, while you're editing, what you have to do is assign different drives to each work. Like for example, you have to read from one drive and write to one drive. That's why what I did was I installed my softwares on one drive and I keep my files on another drive. So the reading and writing is from different files, from different drives, and that gives me a better performance. And I also have one SSD, so that boosts up my performance even better. You can always do RAID setups as well for your drives and get a better performance and get a better backup drive as well. That's up to you, but getting a good SSD and a hard disk, like two drives in your operating device, in your operating system, is good. Like at least you should have two drives. I would suggest that. So next thing would be motherboard. So I would suggest you go for a good motherboard, not a best one if you are on a budget, but a good motherboard, so that if in future you want to upgrade, you can. You have some empty RAM slots, you have some empty storage slots, and also just invest in one motherboard that is good so that you can upgrade in future as well. So my motherboard is Asus X470 Prime Pro. I'll link everything down in the description for my PC. So the power supply is okay, you can get one according to your specs. And talking about the cooling systems, I have 7 fan in my PC. I don't have a liquid cooling system right now because I don't really need it. Like, my PC doesn't get that hot because of the 7 fans. You should have a good ventilation in your system. For that you need a good cabinet as well. I have one from MSI and I'll link that down in the description as well. But if you want to go for liquid cooling, think like buy a cabinet according to that only. You can go to markets and get suggestions of the cabinet and all what all is available around you, and you can do that. That is good. So basically, yes, that was it. That was what I have in my CPU. Other than that, I suggest you to invest in good speakers or good headphones, and also a good screen, a good full HD or a 4K screen, so that you can edit your videos according to that. I have one AOC 24 inches full HD IPS display, sRGB 99% gamut screen. So I have that screen, and the screen is really good. The colors are great, and the great opportunity is that it is our sRGB 99% gamut, and also IPS panel, so that I don't get any glares from any angle. So yes, that was it about the PC. And talking about a budget editing PCs, so I'm going to use Amazon right now and tell you the prices side by side. So firstly, let's talk about the processor. So I guess you should go for AMD Ryzen 7 2700X. So it has 8 cores and 20 MB caches, up to 4.1 GHz of speed. That is a good processor, and it only costs 14,600 on Amazon. You can go out to stores and get a better price as well. I bought my PC from Wazir Pro. I'll also mention the name of the shop in the description below. Let's talk about RAM. 16 GB of RAM. So the G-Skill F4 RAM is for 7,000. Let's add that, 7,000 and 14,600. So the next thing after RAM, let's talk about graphic card. Graphic card 1654 GB is for 14,000. If you are only good doing video editing, 4 GB is enough for you. So let's add that. So the next thing should be storage. You should at least get 1 TB of hard disk, I would suggest. So 1 TB of hard disk is for 4049, and at least 256 GB of SSD, as I said. So 256 GB of WD NVMe PCIe Gen 3 is for 4829. So plus 4829. Motherboard. Asus B4F50 AMD Ryzen 2 is a good motherboard. Yes, I have seen that. It's for 12,000 on Amazon. Let's add that as well. 12,000. So you can get a cabinet under 3,000. I've seen them. Antec cabinets under 3,000, and they have 3 fans already, and you can add more fans, so that's good. 3,000 for that. A power supply for, let me check, for this much I guess 650 watts of power supply is more than enough. 5,000 for that. And we have added cabinet, we have added fans, we have added everything. And this screen, if you get the same screen as mine, I got this for 7,000. So the final price right now is this much, 71,478 rupees for a 4K editing PC. I've maxed out the specs of the PC right now. Like, you can obviously degrade the RAM or the graphic card or the power supply or the cabinet or the screen as well. With everything, this PC costs around 71,000, which is a great price for the things you're getting. You're getting a great PC for the price. 71,000 is good, because whenever you think about a 4K editing PC, the thing that comes to your mind is that you have to get a PC for 1.5 lakhs or 2 lakhs, which is like too much. Believe me, I got my PC for around 1.1 lakh. That, yes, I got my PC for that much with the high specs. But this is something really good. I'll mention the specs of the PC that I shared just now in a link, and in the description you can see the things that you should get for a 4K editing PC. So that is it for now. Please mention down in the comments if you want any other video or if you have any doubt, and also please like, share and comment on this video, and please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a video. And that's it for now. Thank you so much. So I'll see you guys in the next videos. I'm planning some B-rolls behind the scenes, and let's see how it goes. Bye.